Hey guys, it's Collen from Guitarists365.com. Today we're going to learn how to play Foolin by Def Leppard in its entirety, all the solos and all the cool riffs and everything. So we're in standard tuning here, and we're going to start with this kind of acoustic intro, which I'm obviously playing on electric. It's kind of really kind of a 12-string acoustic. We're going to start here with the open A string. It's kind of an A suspended second chord, so you're going to have the second fret down on the D and the G. You're going to pick open A, then pick the D and the G, and then the open B. Then back to the D, which you've already still got the second fret on, and then the open A. So we have this. It's kind of a little pause after you hit the B string. Now while you're hitting that open A there, shift up here, third fret here on the D, fourth fret on the B. So it's kind of like, so after you have that open B, now you're going to add the fifth fret on the G and play the third fret on the D, the D and the G string together. So all together. Alright, now we're going to keep holding this chord. I'm going to pick the high E string, then the G, and then the B. So that's one time through. Now I'm going to repeat the exact same thing, except the last three hits, instead of picking the high E, the G, then the B, you're going to pick straight across on the high E, 1, 2, 3. So we have this. All right, so those two, two times through with the two different endings, that is considered one time through the entire part. So I'll play it again. Just repeat all of that over and over again. So that obviously it's the main first verse here, and then we're going to hear that later on in the song after they get back to that section again, the next verse. But right now we're going to start cranking up the distortion, and we're going to play the riffs going into basically the pre-chorus and the chorus. So here we go. All right, so that obviously leading into the chorus there. So we're coming out of that acoustic part. You start hearing some low E power chord, just the open E. And then it goes to the F power chord here at the first fret of the low E string. It's kind of building to that part. And then right here is when they're doing Is Anybody Out There part. Alright, so that's just the A power chord. You're hitting the two middle strings, the D and the G string with the second fret on both of them, and back to the open A. Then the fives on those two strings, then the open version of those two strings. And then back. Now you're going to jump up here and grab this kind of extended G power chord. You're going to have the fifth fret on the D string, seventh on the G, and then eighth on the B. Pick those three strings, slide down 2 frets, and pick it again. So All right, now the third time kind of going through these chords, it's a little bit different. You're not just kind of chugging around with this A power chord. It goes like this. So we have this, it starts with the A power chord, so it's just the 2 on the G and the D together. And then back to the open A, and then now you're going to play the 4th fret on the G string, still with the 2nd fret on the D. And you can play that chord, and then hit it again with the couple palm muted notes in between it on the open A, and then move that up 1 fret. So we have this. And then you hit that chord again, and then the open D and G string is together. Now we have the kind of build up, which goes the A power chord, E power chord way up here, with all the open strings around it. So it's the E power chord on the A string, 9 on the D and the G, and then the low E open, and the top 2 strings open as well with it. And then 8th fret power chord at the A, and then the 10th fret, and then do a slight bend of the 3rd fret on the low E string, and then the open A power chord, and that takes us to that next part. So let's play through what we just did. Alright, so as soon as we get to this part, we have the power chord off the B flat power chord here at the 1st fret on the A string. And then we have, which is really an overdub, there's just 3rd fret on the G to 3rd fret on the D, and then 2nd fret on the G to 3rd fret on the D. So you can kind of hold that chord under it and it sounds fine. Then take that up 2 frets. Back down. Back up. Now you're just going to do that little melody figure once here. Then start building towards the chorus with just palm muting that power chord. Now the chorus sounds like this. Alright, so that is power chord here at the 5th fret on the A string, down to the 3rd fret and back up to 5. Kind of palm mute, just the A string. Power chord now at the 1st fret on the low E, to the 1st fret on the A. Nice and open. So we have this. Repeat it. Different. That chord's the same, and now instead of going over to the 1st fret on the A, go up to the G. Just go up 2 frets. So we have this. First time, and then 2nd time. Repeat all that. And that takes us back, and that's the chorus usually happens. Now at the end of the song, they kind of just let that ring out a little bit better. So you'll hear it played like that a little later in the song. So the only section we've missed now is the solo. So let me play through that real quick, and then we'll take a look at it note for note. Here we go. Alright, so they're kind of trading back and forth there, but what's going on there is we're going to start with a kind of tremolo picking this 5th fret on the G string while you're slowly bending it. And then Steve Clark has this. So over that, it's just kind of these double stops, 12th fret on the G and the D, and the B string, down to the 10th fret on those strings. So he's kind of messing around between those chords. Does something like that, and then he goes this, just 12s and the 10s and back to 12, and then bend up those 12s. Now underneath that part, there's a bar dive where he's slacked strings and he starts bringing the low E string up. So you'll hear that in there, and then the bar dive or reverse bar dive or whatever coming in. And then we have this unison bend at the 13th fret on the high E and the 16th on the B. So you're going to bend the 16 up a whole step so they sound together, and then you're going to go chromatically up 14, 15, 16, and 17. Then we have this. So that's whole step bend at the 20th fret, then 2017 there on the B, then whole step bend at the 20th fret on the high E, and then play it normal. And then we have this. So we have kind of a slight bend there at the 7th fret on the G, this 5th fret, 7-5 on the D, 7-6-5, 3 on the A, back to 5. Now you can just use your bar to do that, or that last note, or bend that up with your first finger. I think he uses the bar. Or you can use your finger like that. Then we're over here to the B string. Pretty simple stuff. We're having the half step bend to the 7th fret. Release, pull off to the 5th fret, and back to the 7th. Then back 5-7 again. Whole half step bend and release again. Pull off, back to 7. So just kind of mess around between those two notes. Over to the 5th fret on the G. Next phrase. Now that's sliding into the 14th fret on the G string, then 13 on the B, and then 12th fret on the high E string. Then whole step bend to the 15 on the high E. Then play it normal, some vibrato, then So we're going to kind of slide into this, hammering 17 and 19 on the G, then 17 to 20 on the B, and then 17, 20 on the high E. Bend up that 20th fret, and play it normal. And then whole step bend release 20th fret on the B string, then way up here at the 22nd fret on the high E, whole step bend, and then at 20, just normal. So we have this. Alright, so that about does it for Foolin' by Def Leppard. It's a great track. It's, probably my favorite 80s rock band. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon for guitarlessons365.com. Bye-bye.